Thank you, everyone else. So, without further ado, friends, we're gonna get right into the heart of this. First of all, we're gonna start with the drill music concept. Let me flip my screen over to use now. So, the first thing what we're gonna do right now is actually get a little knowledge on the history of drill music, where it came from, how it came about, and how vast and serious of a thing it is. So this video is coming from The Truth Is. The Truth Is has an amazing YouTube video channel. I don't agree with everything he says in there. There's some things are a little bit too far right, but nevertheless, you can learn something from him. Very good spirit. I will honestly say, to give credit where credit is due, go check out The Truth Is channel, because that's where I'm getting this stuff from. So let's take a moment now to listen.
I just want to say, Lori Jones, you hit a key point, and they wonder why there is so much violence. So when you listen to what we're about to hear, I want you to keep that of how young people hearing this today, even older people hearing this today, music and the brain are so interconnected, and emotions, feelings, and how we carry out actions. It's a very... Ooh, sorry, you dropped the camera. But it's a very... It's very imperative to understand that music in and of itself can affect the way people handle emotions, their levels of aggression, and things of that nature. And so drill music does exactly that. She said, I wonder why there's so much violence. Drill music has a major role to play in violence in our inner city, urban areas, that we want to challenge Black Lives Matter to go after these people, go after the industries that are supporting these young people who are singing about violence, who are carrying out violence based on music that labels that the music industry has signed on to make money.
Yeah.
So.
Quickly, Chill Will, we want to acknowledge you here. Thank you for the super chat. I posted a negative comment on one of your old videos before listening to the whole thing. Now I must apologize. Apology accepted. Apology accepted. We don't take things to heart here, and we welcome differences in views. And I'm so glad that you actually acknowledge this. And also, it's okay to listen to the whole video, because we are hoping we come in with the right motives also. And we want people to actually be able to share their views, even if you disagree. And again, once again, thank you for being human, for being real. We definitely accept your apology.
This is what conversation is all about. I'm going to say things that might offend people that I need more understanding about, or maybe need to listen more, or maybe need to reflect in myself and challenge my thought process. So this is what's beautiful. Thank you, Chill Will, because anybody who's listening, anyone who tunes into anything, we are not opposed to someone having a different thought process that can help bring us light, or that we can challenge ourselves to think. And I just appreciate that vulnerability and that accountability.
This is what it's all about.
Yeah,
and that's kind of
really
how
awesome.
we grow as a people. So
that's how we grow.
I appreciate you, Chill Will. Thank you for doing
you.
that. I can see your heart coming from this.
That's awesome. Many of us can't do that. Ego and pride. That's huge to post that in a live session like this.
Yeah,
so
okay. We have one of those camera situation here. It happens all the time. Thank you guys for being patient. So now let's go and listen to what drill music is all about, the history of it. We're going to watch 4 minutes of this video. We're not going to watch the whole thing. And then we're going to pause and see what we learned so far. For those of you who don't know about drill music, you're going to be taught today. So I'm hoping this will also help you to kind of make sense of what is happening to some of our cities and everything.
To almost every major city, even those not in. The truth is, drill music has found its way to almost every major city, even those not in the U.S. A genre that was birthed from the gritty streets of the Southside Chicago, or known as Chiraq, has become one of the most popular genres out. With the genre gathering a massive following, it's clear that drill music is here to stay. But is that a good thing? The problem with this is that drill music is like a cancer, killing and destroying the lives of the youth in the city drill music affects. Join me in this episode as we uncover the dark truth about drill music. The origins of drill music goes back to around 2012, when a then 17-year-old Chief Keef had dropped a music video that would change his life and the lives of many other people that lived in Chicago. The video was I Don't Like, a song that would quickly rise in streams, going viral, garnering the attention from the biggest artists in the industry. This song would eventually get to the ears of Kanye West, and he would go on to remix the song and introduce it to a wider audience. This very thing will shine a spotlight to Chicago, luring the interest of the public. Keith, who was rapping about his actual real-life struggles and personal beefs, kept his rhymes raw and uncut, exposing his fans to his city and putting them in his shoes. This hooked the audience, who would later become obsessed with this very city and the characters in it. With the massive attention Chief Keef was getting, other street guys in Chicago who would also rap felt like they should capitalize off the momentum, spawning rappers all over the city that represented their respected hoods. This would lead Interscope Records to quickly scoop up Keef in 2013, signing.
So right there, I just want to pause. So, because this man who is rapping about his struggles, he's rapping about what he's currently going through, which is nothing positive, nothing that you want to bring forth to a greater light, nothing that you want to draw attention to in the sense of giving it glorification and saying, oh, this is awesome, this is great, this is entertainment.
Yeah.
Now he's being signed on by Interscope Records. What is this doing? So this is what Tom MacDonald is standing against, and this is why he will not sign himself to a record label, and this is why he works independently, and this is why he's fighting with his music against this music here.
And that's what I don't understand. How could the record label even dare to go as far to sign up artists that are promoting this kind of evil? It makes you wonder, all these record label really...
Do they care?
Do they have offendish motives to the point where they feel like they need to destroy our neighborhood? They destroy our children? Do they destroy our youth on the street? Do they really care, or do they see just the money? Because to the point to sign an artist that is promoting that level of evil stuff as if it is something good, it makes you wonder, what are their motives?
Absolutely. The motives. And I love what Chris Ensley said. He just gave us some insight on music. Chanting is from the past. They would get together, hit certain sound waves to induce a hallucination, induce hallucinations. Armies would play the drums when going to war. It's a way to look into the spiritual realm. Music is so powerful. It crosses our frontal lobe and goes into
The subconscious.
our subconscious. It goes into our, like, the hippopotamus, not hippopotamus, hippocampus. I'm a nurse. I'm terrible. But so it goes into the hypothalamus. Like, it just sets off your emotional center of the brain, the limbic system. It sets that off, and it just kind of bypasses all reasoning.
It's crazy.
It
It's a
bypasses
powerful
reasoning.
tool. You can use it for good or for evil.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate
Always about the money.
Tom MacDonald's song. I need to watch it with my wife yet. It's called Blame the Rappers. And, and when Dax was rapping in there, he was saying, man, music has the power to heal, or it has the power to destroy. So don't come here telling music is just a music, it's just rap, or it's just entertainment. No, it is not. It is actually, music is the expression of emotion. So whatever emotion the artist has, he literally is able to impress it to those who are listening.
And
so when the people in our streets can say, oh yeah, that happens to me. Oh, I do have some enemies around the block. You don't go and fight face to face now, but drill music says, go and kill.
How many times have we listened to music ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And where you're like, okay, I want something to calm me down. You listen to something calming. You want something to hype you up. You listen to something a little bit more exciting. I love, I love what Amy said. Most record labels have life insurance on their artists. Wow. That's powerful. I never knew that. But who has life insurance on the kids that mimic these guys? And that's what's sad. Thank you, Lori, for bringing up that.
By the way, James, that's who. Definitely exposure by Tom. Yeah, he talks about this stuff. That's something we'll take a look at. What did Mike say?
They're talking about my hippopotamus statement, and it's okay because it's gonna stick with me. It's the hippocampus, guys. I think I can never say that word, never in nursing school, but it's just a part of the brain, that's very important when it comes to emotions.
Yeah.
We'll call it the hippopotamus on this channel.
Yeah, I did a little bit of psychology and stuff. Studies as well, where he speaks about the limbic system, the limbo. Is the part of the brain that is responsible for emotions and aggression. But it's that flight and that stuff that tells you, hey, it's time to run, it's time to hide, it's time to do something about whatever, right? So what the thing about drill music, it actually communicates to that aspect of the brain. All music does. But what it does also, that aspect of the brain, is when you read the Bible, you hear about the fallen nature, the carnal nature. That's the part of the brain where that actually exists. So drill music can actually heighten that. So what happened when artists who is not mentally prepared for this, or children, youth, listen to drill music, that part of their brain, the limbic system, or it's called the lizard brain also, that part of the brain gets excited. and he carries out the deed. It's a very powerful tool. It's not something you can just play with. There's a lot of psychological effect and how people respond to that as well. So let's finish watching the rest of this, guys.
Signing him to a record deal and solidifying the entrance of drill music into the mainstream. This would be the very thing that takes the lives of
Keyword mainstream. They solidified the entrance of drill music into the mainstream. Mainstream media. Here we go again.
hundreds, if not thousands of people, mostly in their teens, for the coming years. Drill music was not particularly like any other genre of hip-hop, with it drawing clear inspiration from the 2000s gangsta rap music, led by rappers like 50 Cent, Young Jeezy, and Cam'ron, with topics typically ranging from drug dealing, violence, and gang culture. With the main difference that separated these two genres is that most gangsta rap artists from the 2000s usually rapped about old past crimes and rarely would rap about anything they were currently doing. Drill music was the complete opposite in this regard, with rappers rapping about murders that they are still unsolved and crimes that were committed just moments before hitting the studio.
This is the thing that disturbs me, right? If you live in a ghetto, I've lived in Brooklyn, like, to actually say I saw so and so did something, they say you're ratting on people, or it's considered there's another name for that too.
Snitch.
You're snitching, right? And that's like the unpardonable sin in the ghetto. But the same artists who was saying you can snitch on me, but this self-snitching, you know what I'm saying? And in the process, they're talking about the very
Well, they're
thing.
glorifying the crime by making it so basically, and then so what ends up happening, and you'll hear later in the video, is it becomes a retaliation war. So now people are hearing, oh, so you're the one who did this. You're stomping on graves. You're glorifying the fact that you killed my friend, my nephew, my son, my brother. So now we're coming after your people. And so now it becomes this back and forth.
It's crazy.
I'm going to murder someone on your team. I'm going to murder someone on your team. So now it's all of this
Back and forth
retaliation wars that are being created through this music. That's being promoted by mainstream media.
That's what
is the mainstream music industry trying to do to our children? Where are the people who are fighting against this? This is what needs to be fought against.
Amen. Not Joe Rogan.
No.
Let's go.
Recording. Drill music glamorized the rapper who is currently really living what he's rapping about. This will put the audience of these rappers in the front seat of the violence. Watching as things unfold in real time, they were now able to see who killed who and what gang they represented, and who was the next target. Teens all over the city who were already on edge, dealing with the struggles of inner city poverty, were now being baited and rewarded to commit violent crimes and then document them in a rap song. This will start to further destroy the
Baited and rewarded to commit violent crimes and then document them in the studio. Wow. So they're being baited to do this because now they have a record label that requires you to continue to make this music consistently in order to receive a paycheck.
That's right.
But the only way you're able to make the music is by committing violent crimes.
Yeah, you can't just talk about.
You can't just in drill music.
You can't just freestyle like we used to.
So now you have to start targeting people.
You have to live what you preach.
Now you have to start creating conflict, right? To be able to now feed your family, to maintain this life. So what is the fast life? The drugs, the money, the violence, a woman. This is what's promoted in the entertainment world as this means you're successful. So if they don't have someone to kill, then they don't have a song to sing.
Here's the thing. I don't want to take this too far from the discussion here. Where is Black Lives Matter movement in this? Where are the big mouths?
Every movement.
Where are the big mouths who want to start
help our
marching the
people.
street whenever a Caucasian cops or kill a black man, and they go out and start tearing down buildings and burn down businesses? Where are the big mouths? This is when we need you to show the black community how much you really love us.
But then they want to defund the police.
Yeah, and that's another point. So you're defunding the very ones that are supposed to be protecting the streets. And then you promote the very music that are destroying the streets. And as soon as something goes off outside of the black community, you make a whole bunch of noise about it. Do you see the level of hypocrisy that's in this?
Yep. It's not just rap music too. I think it talks about, or there was another article I was reading about the heavy metal music.
Heavy metal music, definitely. Yeah.
Both of these types of music. This is what needs to be going. We need to be going after music that incites violence, incites anger, incites people to incites killing.
If you're really trying to make a change.
If you're really trying to make a change.
Yeah.
not someone who said the N-word.
12 years ago. That's crazy.
lives of those people who were living in these areas that were becoming war zones for the entertainment of the fans. More teens will start committing crimes, hoping that they as well can spark a rap career, creating more street issues all over the city. As the shooting will continue to rise, drill will start to become so popular it started making its way out of Chicago and into other urban cities, landing in New York and London.
Wow.
With the rapper Bobby Shmurda, who would release his song Hot Boy, quickly having a similar reaction as Chief Keef, blowing up overnight. Bobby Shmurda will go on to rap about murders and other crimes that him and his own members were responsible for. Bobby Shmurda will later get arrested the same year and spend 6 years in prison for the crimes that he was connected to due to his music. Just like in Chicago, drill music will start to spread all over the city. The genre had even made its way overseas to the UK, specifically London, and had already done the same destruction it had done in Chicago. Death and destruction seems to follow the genre wherever it went next.
Wow.
With drill music's reach now being able to spread its influence all over the United States and UK, leaving many cities having to deal with the same issues that Chicago was plagued with. With artists like the late Pop Smoke, Fabio Foreign, Chef G, and many more, drill has started to show its effect in New York City. In 2020, it was
So this is where we're gonna pause the rest of this video. Go ahead.
So all those rappers that they named in the end were victims of gun violence who were murdered. So, and the reason why we wanted to bring this out is because this is totally opposite of Tom MacDonald. And as I'm looking into Tom MacDonald more and understanding more about his music and what he's looking to do and what he's trying to, how he's trying to unify and to bring unity, and hearing that people are actually coming against him, calling him racist, calling him, saying that he's trying to divide. It is absurd. It's absurd in such a manner that, I mean, simply from the lyrics that he's saying and from what actual music industry are they're signing on, what they're promoting, they're signing on these rappers, knowing what they have to do in order to make the music.
They don't care about that.
How in the world doesn't the music industry stand up? How aren't people fighting against the music industry now? It's so great to see that this mayor, Eric Adams, is going to push for the removal of drill music from social media, and hopefully this can proliferate and push for it to be removed totally. Because there is a time where, again, like we talked about last time, what are we going to do? We have to start doing something, and I appreciate Mayor Eric Adams for starting the process.
And that's what I wanted to talk about.
Tom MacDonald,
the mayor, he got some backlash. Of course, he's gonna get backlash. A lot of drill artists, a lot of people, even some. I have to say this. Even some people who have different political views, some Republicans and stuff are coming after him, saying that it's not gonna change anything. Guys, we have to stop looking at things through the lenses of our political beliefs. We have to look at things for the purpose of the principle is true. It makes perfect sense. Look at people for people. Because every time we put on this lens, I am part of this group, we fail to understand what a person is actually trying to do here. And so I'm going to listen to this very quickly, guys, and I want to hear your thoughts and comments on this as well.
So we got some comments here. Thank you, Ken. Black Lives Matter supports that kind of music and style of thinking. Unacceptable.
And that's what I don't understand, though. That's what I don't understand.
Leah Underwood, he gives us plenty of free music. Don't take any out of his pocket for his hard work. I think, Amy Ballard. Mayor Adams is evil. Wow. Powerful statement. Expound. I only know him from this lens of drill music.
Yeah, I don't know much about him. He's a new mayor.
I don't know his background, his history.
So to say someone is evil, I kind of need more than just that. You have to tell me a little bit more.
But I just don't know him. So if you have information, share. For this aspect, though, this is all I know about him, and I appreciate what he's doing. But if there's a hidden agenda, expose.
Please.
This is what it's all about. We're exposing, and give us education. 250 rappers died in 2021. 200 died in 2020. From 1990 to 2019, less than 50 rappers died. Case in point.
Wow.
Case and point.
Thank you, Tessie Mystic, for these.
Chris Ensley, he ratted himself and his crew out. Boy, that's smart. Exactly. So they know, and so here we go. They like the crime. They need the crime for whatever reason. They want the crime to continue. So this is why they sign on these people. There's so many different facets as to why they want the poor to stay poor and to kill each other off. But it's not okay.
Yeah.
Our goal, Tom's goal, is to promote unity and to promote healing and to get people out of that mindset.
Yeah.
So
listen, James Das Who, BLM, Black Lives Matter, and most civil rights activists are not truly about equality and helping minorities or people in poverty. They are using these to make money themselves.
I can totally see that.
I can
totally see
actually- I
it.
can
When we're
smell
looking
it. I
at the
can smell
real
it. I can smell
hardcore
it.
issues, that if you focus on those issues that would bring about real change,
Yeah.
that's where I can say what they're focusing on is the wrong thing. We don't need to be pulling down statues today of people who are already dead. We need to be going into these inner city areas and start to focus on the people who are about to die, because these rap songs are targeting and labeling and mapping out who's next. And I believe that they are able to probably figure it out very quickly, which because they're able to find out the gangs, if police are already using it, well, we can use those funds much better to go and to dig deeper into these people and work on getting them pulled off. First off, pull them off of mainstream. Our children don't need to be seeing this.
And that's the thing. They wanna cancel culture is like ready to cancel anyone that disagree with them. You say something against homosexuality or same-sex marriage, they wanna tear you apart on the internet. But we have drill artists that are promoting all kind of wicked stuff over the internet and indoctrinating our children and demoralizing our women, killing men, killing young women of their own neighborhood and going glorify that on the internet. They don't get canceled. They get promoted. But now, look at this. Colleen said something here I wanted to say. I am a hairdresser in suburbs of Chicago. And I have a lot of clients move from our Chicago location to what? Because of what? Because they are scared.
Mike and the Dad Crosby, why are you hesitant regarding Mr. Adams trying to ban artists like Tom? So is this one of those situations where we're saying if you ban one, you can start the process of banning all? I know that one thing that, as we'll see when he speaks, he's looking for them to change how they speak versus banning. But I do want to hear more about why you think he might end up banning an artist like Tom when, from what it sounds like, which we're about to go into, he's saying is that he's actually going to look to see if we can change their language.
The tone of the song. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's take a listen of that, guys, to that video here.
I had no idea what drill rapping was, but I called my son, and he sent me some videos, and it is alarming.
A gritty form of rap with songs and viral dances made to celebrate local murders.
The violence is infused in the music.
2 drill rappers have been murdered in New York City so far this month. The story of 18-year-old Jaquan McKinley, known as C-High, brought Mayor Eric Adams to tears Thursday.
The story of Jaquan breaks my heart. His story tests my spirit.
McKinley was shot and killed, leaving a recording studio in Bed-Stuy Sunday morning. On February 1st, 22-year-old Tajay Dobson, known as T. Wu, was killed in a drive-by shooting in Canarsie, just hours after securing a record deal.
There have been lately a number of shootings of known rappers, some very known with good careers right in front of them.
Aisha Sekou runs Street Corner Resources in Harlem. Sekou says her organization is increasingly responding to shootings, stabbings, and beatdowns that are carried out in retaliation for drill music songs that brag about local murders.
There are calls to action in the music. On the grave, to smoke on the grave of someone.
Hot 97 DJ Drewski recently said he'll no longer play what he calls diss music on the radio. But rapper and Brooklyn native Fabio Foreign defended drill this week, saying it's not the music killing people. Mayor Eric Adams told Pix 11 today he's focused on the social media sites where drill videos can rack up tens of thousands of views.
We're going to ask these companies, we're going to ask them for good corporate responsibility. This is contributing to the violence that we're seeing all over this country.
The mayor is also calling on prominent rappers to step up and step in.
I am meeting with some of the top known rappers. We have a meeting set up where we're going to sit down and really bring in the rappers and show how this is impacting and is causing the loss of lives of young people like them.
Wow.
Tamsin and Corey, so many of the drill music videos we found on social media today were simply too graphic to show on the evening news. Mayor Eric Adams said if former President Donald Trump can be removed from Twitter, he certainly believes that many of these violent videos can be removed from social media as well.
Wow. It's a powerful statement.
We can drop the ball on this one, right? We can just drop the mic. And that's a powerful statement.
John Coyle, thank you for your statement. Look up Eric Adams calling white people the C word. It wasn't his first time, but he just did it again last week or the week before. I mean, this is what's really terrible. It's really difficult because, you know, people don't even understand the racism that is within themselves. And we really have to start checking ourselves, and we really have to start checking people.
It's crazy.
We really have to start checking people. People need to be exposed because we need to be confronted with it, but in a way that will cause and promote change and growth. So that's not okay.
Yeah. That's definitely
just like
not
saying
okay.
Video games cause violence. I don't agree. It's not saying that it causes violence, but it does give you a greater propensity to have aggressive behaviors.
Yeah.
Aggressive behavior. So, I mean, and so I want you to think about yourself and anyone out there who I'm talking to. I see Ginja's comment. Not that it causes it, but it creates a state. So we know that our hormones are, you can tell when you're listening to something, you can almost feel yourself get calm. You can almost literally feel yourself get, like something can go through you when you hear something. Mm-hmm. You feel your body literally change internally. Yeah. Music has the same power.
It's a powerful tool.
It's something that I haven't studied a lot of, so I don't have the intelligent verbiage for it. But the truth of the matter is music can... And if you hear something ongoing and consistently, music can give you an altered emotional state or an altered way of thinking.
There we go.
Then the action becomes conscience.
Here's the thing. Music has the power to influence the will. Mm-hmm. It does this emotionally. You have to think about it this way. You go into the gym. We go to the gym. I don't go to the gym listening to Amazing Grace. How sweet the sound. I love that song. The reason I cannot listen to that song while I'm at the gym, it kills my motivation. It makes me think about Jesus. That's great. But it's not going to help me while I'm running on the treadmill. What I will listen to is something upbeat. Okay? I will listen to some kind of motivational speech or something that has some type of music behind that. So the point of the matter is, your spirit in music does have a way of communicating. So drill music, for example, you take drill music and you got beef in the neighborhood with somebody. One of your friends just got shot. And the drill artist dropped a song. Call out the friend's name in the music, and you're watching the song. Mm-hmm. What happens then?
Instant anger.
Anger.
Spirit
aggression.
Of retaliation.
You know what I'm saying? So I need to retaliate. Oh, he's the one who did it. So what happened automatically here, there's a desire to respond. So think about that. Even if it's not in your neighborhood, it could be this drill artist dropped a song in Chicago, but you live in New York. You have a similar beef. Mm-hmm. And he's talking about an experience that's happening in his town. You will make a link to that and say, oh, I'm mad with Shakran. I'm mad with John B. Guess what? Thank you, drill artist from Chicago, for dropping that song. Now I have a reason to go get them. Do you see what I'm saying? So what it does, it influences the will emotionally to react. And that is the danger. The danger is not the music in itself, but the content of the music can communicate to the heart and cause someone to make a decision that they would have never made if they never heard that music. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what you have to think about when you hear about the power of music.
And I think what's so alarming that Amy had mentioned before is that a lot of these record companies have life insurance on these people. So it's almost like it's a good thing.
Yeah.
That they eventually go out and kill each other because they get to reap the benefits of their death.
That's right. And the record label in their death actually makes more money than they were when they're alive. I didn't know that. Yes.
Wow.
So in other words, they buy what is called as the masters. They buy the masters from their family and they can reproduce more music using their voice.
Wow.
On more label, and then when the person is dead, there's a level of sympathy that happens from the fans. So that sympathy, oh, we miss so and so, and now they use that to their advantage to put out more music and make more money with the artists, with them being dead than they were alive. It is a scary thing. Now, I'm gonna suggest you guys to something. If you are not sure about the power of music, I'm gonna give you a documentary you need to check out. if you just don't understand what music is all about, and this is something worth studying, you need to go on YouTube. You can purchase this on Amazon, even on eBay. It's called Media on the Brain. Okay? Media on the Brain. This guy here did some, Scott Rissima, he did some, it's not just media is bad. No. This is like scientific facts, psychological facts he shows you, and he lined it up with the Bible, and it shows you the impact of music, not just music, media, Hollywood, movie stars. It's not just music. We're having music on this discussion today, but there's much more, and it shows you. It's almost like when you're done going through this stuff, you will change your way of thinking, because you will realize the stuff that you watch does have an impact on your behavior. It does make you do certain things. It does make you want to dress a certain way. Music is a powerful tool. Do not underestimate that. Okay?
I think it's important too. I want to challenge us all to start to really pay attention to how we respond, how our bodies respond to different things that we hear, to the different senses. So our 5 senses are huge in the way that we carry out emotion and we carry out actions. So start paying attention, and you'll start to see, like, wow, my body really reacted to that sound, that music. And you'll start to see yourself and say, I can see now this correlation and this connection with gang violence. And also with gang violence and music. And also just take a look at what happens too. So if they're publicly embarrassing another gang, remember, gang wars, it's all about height. It's all about who has the most clout. It's all about clout. So that's going to be another. So even if it wasn't necessarily the music, but now you've embarrassed us, you've talked about us, you've incited anger and retaliation. There's hurt, there's pain, there's fear. Let me get you before you get me. I'm not going to be in your next song. You're going to be in mine. So there's so many different facets to this thing.
You have to look at it holistically.
What is most detrimental is that there is a record label that would sign someone on knowing the potential outcome, knowing the outcome, because in order for them to make music, they have to kill, period. No, nothing else needs to be said to me in that respect, except for the record label knows how they make their music, period.
Yeah. We have a request here from Pessimistic, either to change from woke to maybe watch Dear Rappers and Exposure.
Gotcha.
So do you guys want to vote for that? Dear Rapper, The Exposure, or maybe Blame the Rappers? Blame the Rappers is also a good one.
Yeah, that sounds proper.
Because, guys, I'm going to share something here. We're not going to over-spiritualize the whole discussion, but I'm going to show you what the Bible says very quickly on this subject. Okay? So watch this. It's a single verse, but it says a whole lot. Now, here is the thing. This is what God says, right? This is coming from 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33. If you don't want to believe music has any impact, and you say that has nothing to do with nothing, or you disagree with Mr. Eric Adam for whatever the reason may be, fine. But at least listen to the voice of God. Listen to what it says. It says, do not be deceived. In other words, don't lie to yourself. Bad company corrupt good morals. Now, there are many verses for this one. King James Version says, be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners. So the point of the matter is, you can be a good person, but if you subject yourself to evil media, evil music, violent stuff, you do this all the time. No matter how good you may think yourself to be, something is happening internally. There's a deterioration of the character. There is a change of the mind that's taking place over time. But soon you will realize you were once over here, now you're over there spiritually. It is a very powerful tool. Do not underestimate the power of music. Apart from the word of God, apart from the love of God, I believe, that's my belief system, the second most powerful things in the world is music. A person can sing a song and change the world. Do you understand? I listened to Jelly Roll song yesterday, guys. I reacted to that. The song Save Me. I had to literally shake it off because I had like, man, I don't want to cry here. The level of emotion that was beaming from the song, I'm like, oh, I am not crying on this camera. This is way too powerful. The emotion that was jumping at me, I was like, my goodness, powerful song. But guess what? He was a simple song. But the way he was sharing that song and the connection he was making, it was... So that's the level of stuff you have to think about.
Mike and the Dad Crosby. To me, it sounds like he, meaning Mr. Adams, wants to work with the artists and labels. Why'd you do that?
I'm sorry.
He said to me, it sounds like he wants to work with the artists and labels
Okay, there
to
you go.
try to change the culture. I'm behind that. I'm just not sure about calling for an actual band. I
Yeah.
thought that was that's we don't want
That's-
banning because then that goes with the will and the
Yeah.
power of choice. So we
Yeah.
understand and totally agree with you there.
Yeah. And there's more he has to think about. What about the record label? What about the audience that are clicking and saying this? What about the people that are backing this up? And what about those youth? Because some of them, that's really all they know. That's all they experience. So there's a level of thing you have to think about when you go about bending. When you bend. So the thing is, if you can really get them to think differently, to see the impact of what they're doing, you're not going to get all drill artists to agree. But if you can at least get 20% of them to say, you know what, I see
only
what I'm
takes
doing
one.
wrong. I see
Yeah,
what I'm
it
doing
only
here. And
takes
they
one.
can start, there could be a positive change.
Chris Ensley had a good point. Not just music, but sound waves, different frequencies will make people do crazy things. It's so true.
That is so true.
So it's good to see that people understand. And I just encourage, like my husband shared, for everybody to really take time. Like, this is what I'm trying to do. This is all new to me. This is our second live stream. This is all brand new for me. We really, really need to start to educate ourselves so we can understand what's really happening around us, so then we can be a part of the positive change that we need to see come about.
That's right.
All right.
So you guys would like us to do Fake Woke and another song?
Defund propaganda, without a doubt, true. When I was young, I used music to influence my aggression. As a man, I use music for comfort and to be uplifted.
Yeah.
Don't move it when I'm talking. So yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you, propaganda.